So we are in day 11 of this government shutdown, and there doesn't appear to be any end in sight. Now, if they were serious about getting the government open and ending the shutdown, Republicans would be there doing their job. But Mike Johnson is keeping the House of Representatives out all of next week. He's not going to be there to hold a vote. If they were serious, they'd be there negotiating with Democrats, trying to pass something else in the House, maybe another CR that the Senate could vote on, that might have part of the Medicaid cuts reversed, and maybe a year or two of Affordable Care Act subsidies, something. But they're not even negotiating that. They're just saying, we passed our thing, vote for it or else. And they're staying gone. The House is. Senate Republicans really aren't negotiating, and they're not trying to come to the table and say, okay, well, what if we give you 3 years of Affordable Care Act subsidies and we take it up, right before the 2028 general election. I know they wouldn't probably do that. They would wait until 29, but still, they're not offering that. They're saying, well, vote for the House thing. They're not negotiating here. This isn't a give and a take. They're effectively saying, we want what we want and you're going to give it to us. They're bullying. And Senate Democrats are actually saying, no, here's what we want. And because the Senate rules are different from the House, the Senate can actually prevent a measure from being passed thanks to the filibuster. They could not do this in the House, or the House Democrats would have done the same thing. What they want is the restoral of the Medicaid cuts and the extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Now, by extending those subsidies, you are going to keep millions of Americans from having their health insurance jump by 75% or more. But they don't want to do that. Republicans don't. But it's not new spending. This is just continuing existing spending. We've been paying for it since the passing of the Affordable Care Act. But I think they're trying to do this as a way of defunding the Affordable Care Act in a way to make it unfavorable so that they can find a way to get rid of it because they know it's actually rather popular. And as far as extending the Medicaid cuts, well, they're trying to make it so, or seem that Democrats want to fund healthcare for undocumented illegal immigrants. And that's not the case. The funding goes to a lot of rural hospitals that have a lot of Medicaid patients. And the only time undocumented immigrants get health care under Medicaid is when they show up at the emergency room for life-saving care, and the emergency room shouldn't have to try to figure out their immigration status. Democrats are holding the line here, and we don't know how long this shutdown is going to go. We're already into 11 days. This could end up being longer than 35 under Donald Trump's last term.